CNN host Dana Bash is literally a zombie. Um, I think they just hired her because they feed her brains, and she asked any question that they ask her to say. But now that we've entered the second week of America's shutdown, I think Democrats are finally realizing America knows it's them who's actually let the country shut down, and that the Jedi mind trick is just not working. It might have worked for a couple days, a few days, but we not following it. So like they switched over to we are holding the line until Republicans extend the healthcare thing. Yeah, but all the other U.S. representative speakers they know about it, but the Wolf of Washington, she may be too busy with her spot on stock investments, or maybe they told her that they were going to stop saying it's their fault and just say we're holding the line. And she got the memo, but she forgot because on this one-on-one interview with Night of the Living Dead CNN anchor Dana Bash, Pelosi is still spewing out those same imaginary circumstances, like we are unaware of the specifics. Typically, Stoneface anchor Dana Bash, she defends whatever outlandish pagantry these devil worshipping Democrats propagate. But I think Dana Bash has snorted so many Zoloft that Pelosi's mind altering witchcraft is just not working on her. She tried with the it's the Republicans the ones that shut the keeping the government shut down. Dana Bash was like, no, you guys refused to vote for it. She said. Then Pelosi said, we're not giving in until they extend the U.S. subsidies on the health care. And then Dana Bash said, well, they said they will extend it after the government opens back up. Pelosi said, well, I don't believe them. For real. This is really real talk. My name is Marcus Russell. You're watching the Marcus Russell Show. Do you know that millions of U.S. military will not be paid on October 15th per the government still being shut down? Unlike other federal offices who have provisions in case, something like this happens to continue to payroll. The military works directly for the government, and they are not getting nothing October the 15th, which is a couple days. Now, do you Democrats think that they are going to be blaming Republicans who have offered a CR that's basically just a temporary patch that will keep the government open for 7 more weeks while they negotiate some type of deals? But Democrats are still refusing to accept the CR. Do you think they're going to be like, oh, it's the Republicans' fault? I don't know. Anyway, make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. Let's get right to the video.
Thank you so much for being here in person. We are day 8. This is a real stalemate, unless you know something I don't. But, right now what we're seeing is President Trump and Republican leaders are saying they're not going to negotiate on extending the healthcare subsidies until the government reopens. So I guess my first question is, what's wrong with that position? Why not open the government and then negotiate?
The government was opened, and then the Republicans closed it because they did not want to extend health care subsidies. It means that it will raise the cost of health care to America's working families. They had their chance for all of this, but they didn't do it. Now they're saying, oh, if you open it, we'll do it. I don't believe that, but nonetheless. Here's the thing. The reason that the government is shut down is because the Republicans have insisted on taking down the subsidies, also Medicare, Medicaid, all of that, food for children, hundreds of billions of dollars for SNAP, to give a tax cut to the wealthiest people and the wealthiest corporations in America. You don't expect us to say, okay, we'll agree to your giving a tax cut to the richest people in America and increasing the cost of health care to open government. It's going to be up to them. They shut down government, and they're going to have to open up government. They have every shutdown since the 90s, when I've been around anyway, has been a Republican shutdown.
I understand what you're saying about where the differences are, and they are very big. They are voting yes on what we say here in Washington, a clean CR, a bill to keep the government running for 7 weeks, and Democrats are voting no, and for the reasons you just said. So how are they shutting down the government?
First of all, it isn't a clean CR.
Okay.
So let's not stipulate to that. It's not a clean CR.
What do they have in
it's
it?
going into that. The point is, Democrats who created Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, all of that, are now being asked, reject that so we can give a tax cut to the rich. We're not doing it. And it isn't a question of, well, let's come back together so we can discuss it. That isn't going to happen. They had that chance. Now they just have to open government with it as a stipulation.
So how do you get there? Would it be the president saying he's willing to engage in negotiations? Is it, I mean, what do you actually need tangibly to get there?
Well, let me just say I'm so pleased with Hakeem Jeffries and the role he's playing for our House Democrats, Chuck, of course. But here's the thing. Everything important springs from the people. The public knows that this is wrong for them. This is a kitchen table issue for them. This is a kitchen table issue. They want costs lowered. The Republicans are raising the cost. And this is, our members have been all over the country spreading the word. Lincoln, public sentiment is everything. With it, you can accomplish almost anything. And that is what we were doing. They're going to hear from their own constituents that government has to open up under these conditions.
And the conditions are that you want them to just automatically raise or extend, I should say, the subsidies for Obamacare?
Yeah, not to cancel them, but also it has to be in the law.
When you say cancel, they expire at the end of the year.
Yeah, so they must be expired.
Without any kind of negotiation over it, because they want reforms.
What reforms do they want? They want it to reduce,
So you just don't buy any of it?
What do you mean reforms?
I'm just telling you what they've been on TV saying constantly.
I know that's what they say on TV, but look at history, look at the experience. When he was president before, he was going to whatever. He said, Obamacare sucks. That's what he said, Obamacare sucks. It's not about reforms. We're all interested in reforms all the time. The subsidies are a reform. Under Biden, they are an improvement over the Affordable Care Act, and I'm very proud of the Affordable Care Act and the reforms. But they have not, they wanted, over 70 times they voted to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
But this is a very specific part of the Affordable Care Act that you know better than I is popular in a lot of their districts
and that's
across the country.
And you say, how are we going to open it? We're going to open it because it's very popular and well among Democrats, among Republicans, and among independents.
Yo, I usually don't let interviews run that long on my videos, but I just wanted y'all to see that. Like, am I tripping now? Check it. I understand how being interviewed by a flesh-eating zombie could have been a little bit distracting for Pelosi. That's crazy. Like, this anchor wants to eat your brains, and yet you still have to answer the questions for the American people to know the answer. But why would she come on the show without at least like a temporary fix plan? You know what I mean? Like, it's too late for the blame game. Oh, they changed it. You know what? If you did not like the big beautiful bill, you should have went on strike then 2 months ago. You know what I think happened? I think none of them Democrats actually read the bill until after it was passed, and then after it was passed, they was like, "No, oh my God, no!" But do your job. What are y'all there? What are y'all sitting doing? I mean, I know Pelosi doing. She getting this money. She getting this stock money. She's probably busy that week, pinpointing the exact stocks that will crash or that she how she does it. But like, it's too late now, and then when asked, because the zombie kept asking her, so like, what exactly do you want to open the government back up? And she's like, well, she said, Hakeem Jeffries, I love this is her exact answer. I love the way what is he doing? What is the answer to the question? Because we don't care about none of that stuff. Americans just want the government back open. And she said they have a CR, which is a temporary fix, lasts for 7 weeks. Why can't you do that? Why can't you do that, Nancy? I do not understand what is going on. Somebody make it make sense to me. For real. Oh, so y'all just not going to pay all these millions of people? What about the millions of people who don't need their health care subsidized, but they work for the government and they still need that check to pay these bills? What about those people, those Americans? What about the part where she said, oh, well, most of these constituents that are saying, yes, we want it the way it is, the reform in the healthcare system is popular within these systems. What about those people? They don't even want what you want. You Democrats, gang banging ass Democrats, man. Y'all never cease to amaze me. But continue, hey, keep it up, Nancy. Y'all are giving me the a great, amazing year worth of content. It's like watching WWF, man. I love it. I mean, I don't love it. It's messed up. Yo, tell me what you think in the comments. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.